Obviously all the woodworking stays dark. I don't think we need to touch any of that. We do have a lot of dark to contend with. I think you're right. Low lighting is gonna be your best friend. I really wanna add sconces somewhere. You're gonna save a lot of money if we don't refinish them. One of these might be fun like in the powder room. I wouldn't do this on all of the walls because that would be too much. I do think it would be really epic. It'll flow. Save your money. It's normally not this fast. I've got a great new project to share with you today. I just met the clients for the first time and I'm gonna walk you through how the meeting went. I have jobs throughout the city, but this is my first job in Highland Park, so I'm super excited to dive into this one. So I am working with Sonder Architecture and Design on this project. In my industry, it's always really fun to partner with other people, especially other small businesses, and Sonder Architecture are the ones who reached out to me for this project, and I'm really excited to work with them again. Personally, guys, I kind of love your floors. And I actually like this color with the dark woodwork, and you're gonna save a lot of money if we don't refinish them. Like, thousands.
You don't think we need to refinish it all? Like
they can be cleaned up.
What do you mean clean them up?
It's not like a refinishing cleaning up. It's literally just like use some like Murphy's oil soap, clean them up and you're done. Like,
really?
Yes. In most homes that have the thinner plank, there are a lot of sunspots and sun damage from where there were rugs and they sat there for years and years and years. Also, there's a lot of times like someone who moves a piano across the floor, so there's a big gash or a big dent in the flooring. This house doesn't have any of that. The floors are truly in impeccable condition. Honestly, guys, I think we keep this the same because it is the same. And I think we could find somebody who could literally paint us a tile to match this. And yes, it's faux painted, but it's one tile that would be the correct size and then save your money. It has very beautiful tile, turquoise and blues, and there's little hints of like yellow and green in there. And I can't wait to pull those colors out in the design. But the clients were concerned because one tile was smashed. And so the previous owner had taken 4 small tiles and put them into the space. And so I actually figured out that we could probably just pick a tile that's a square and get it painted to look the same so that way they don't have to completely redo everything. We could chisel this out and put in like a Carrara marble or like some type of stone here that's going to be brighter. It could be a nice way to get a natural wood finish but not be too dark because we do have a lot of dark to contend with. So we're now in the dining room, which is at the front of the house, and it also has a fireplace and there's bonus built-ins in this space, which I absolutely love. But what you'll notice here is it's very, very dark because the porch overhangs those front 2 windows. So although there's a lot of natural light, there's a lot of it that's basically blocked. And so one of the ways that we can really help that is by replacing the hearth. And that hearth is the same tile as the entry, which is this old quarry tile, which is a terracotta color. It's this very beautiful warm tone, but because it's so dark in that room, I think we'd really benefit from swapping that out and picking maybe a Carrara marble or something fun for the hearth. Instead of lighting the beams, we light this border. I think you're right. And it can be something that's dimmable. You know, we can still do the strip lights and things. A chandelier in here that hangs down and has more of like a diffused light versus like this flush mount that it's all right there. And then we add, lamps and like low lighting is going to be your best friend. What's really important in the dining room that we didn't dive into in the original shot is that this room is very, very tricky because it's so dark. There's not a lot of ways to add light into this space because we're opening up a wall. We can't really add sconces. So really we're going to be adding the chandelier up top, but there is a small wood border that goes around the entire room. So instead of adding strip lights to the beams in the ceiling, we're actually going to add strip lights to that perimeter. So it'll kind of shine light upwards onto the ceiling and then we'll wallpaper the ceiling. Obviously all the woodworking stays dark. I don't think we need to touch any of that. I don't think we need to refinish any of that. And then we do a new light fixture, something kind of funky, more modern and cool, but like again, same output level. This is nice and bright in here. Everything will be dimmable, so you can choose your level. LED strip lighting in these to light these up. I really want to add sconces somewhere because sconces are so cool and this house has so much character. I will always want to add a sconce, let's be honest, but this house is giving me a run for my money because there's not a ton of wall space that I can actually get electrical into. And so it's going to be really important in these built-ins to basically keep the character, add these strip lights, and really start to illuminate the room in other ways that are still warm and cozy, but not overwhelming. I'm trying to figure out like if it would make, it doesn't though, actually, as I'm like thinking through this. Because your bed is already sitting proud, right? If it's going against this wall. So then you're recessed back here. Because I was like, oh, what if we built in a nightstand on this side and then recessed one on that side? But you're never laying in bed and then like,
reaching all the way.
You know what I mean? Like you want them to be right beside you.
But to your point though, if they're deep like that, you could have some pretty nice space. Like
You
our
could.
nightstands are pretty congested.
You
do
could. We could
stuff
make
back
it
there.
deeper.
Exactly.
We're now in their bedroom, their primary suite. It's going to be pretty difficult to put a bed and nightstands on the same wall. And so we actually have to get a little bit creative with a custom solution because there isn't another wall for the bed and 2 nightstands to fit on. And these clients definitely need bedside storage. Because in this case, I would recommend taking this off so it doesn't look like it was a closet. And then this side could return and have open shelving. We could do the nightstand and then almost like build out like a hutch cabinet instead of open shelves if you wanted closed storage. So it just depends on how much stuff you want to hide. But yeah, I would say that's going to be custom cabinetry here. And then that would look a little bit more symmetrical on either side. So we can play around with that. And so we'll come up with a custom option that it has built-in nightstands on either side. And then the side where you see the closet will be opened up so that maybe there's open shelving or some type of closed storage there, but it won't look the way it looks now where it's open on one side and then a random closet on the other side. I think if we have a new light fixture and the uplighting, you'll actually like come in and be like, whoa, that's cool. I wouldn't do this on all of the walls because that would be too much. But I think if the walls are just painted and this goes between the beams, I do think it would be really epic. So here we're back in the dining room talking about putting wallpaper on the ceiling. And I do think it would be pretty epic to do the ceiling, paint the walls. It's an unexpected application for wallpaper. It's becoming more popular, but there's not a lot of people who will commit to doing it. So it's really important to kind of be able to explain to them why they should do it in this space and why the space will really benefit from that. And then once we have the strip lighting around this like cove trim, basically that's lower, your eye, like when you walk in, you're gonna be like, whoa, like what's going on? It's just like a very cool art installation. I don't always advocate for wallpaper on ceilings, but this space in the dining room is the perfect opportunity because it's split up with ceiling beams. So it's really just subtle strips throughout the ceiling plane. And the wallpaper itself is a little bit more busy, but it has really beautiful browns and blues. So it's this classic color combination that really works well with the dark woodworking, and it'll draw your eye up as we start to have those accessory lighting pieces as well. So chandeliers and the cove lighting that we're talking about putting around the room. And then, yeah, this is kind of the color palette then that we're working with on the first floor. So this is pretty rare. I just took some samples to show the clients after they had sent me some inspiration images. This is my second time meeting them. I still didn't really know them super well. And I just went out on a limb and brought some samples, and we ended up picking all 3 wallpaper options from one particular artist that they want to use in the powder room, the dining room, and the living room to kind of tell the same color story throughout the first floor. When I put this all in like a presentation for you guys, I'll show like install images and things so you can see it like on a larger scale. It's normally not this fast. The design process normally isn't quite as fast as the first site meeting and taking some random samples and the client picking the ones that they like. And so generally there's a few rounds or revisions, and we'll see. We're still early in the process, but I'm super excited about the 3 wallpapers they've already selected, and we'll see where we go with it. Stay tuned as we continue to hone in these design elements and make sure that this home's personality comes through. Okay, you ready? Get in! I feel like it's more magical shooting this direction. Super foggy and warm for the last day in January, actually.